All right, to watch this video for Monday, June 4th, showing you the SPY here. Took a few snapshots of some charts for the video today. Just kind of better illustrate some of the things I'm looking at. The SPY just really kind of in a nice range, and it's got some room. If it breaks out over this range, it's got some room to the upside. There's been a lot of positive economic news, so we're going to keep that one on watch. And let's get into the list here. CRON, I think I got some lines on this one too. Let me bring this one over. CRON, drew some lines again. You know, it's kind of coming into a trend line here, and it's been sideways for the past 2 or 3 weeks. A little bit of extra volume on Friday, kind of taking it to the top of the range. So you break out of this range, you might retest this trend line and maybe break out. So it's definitely got nice support below. So CRON, definitely one to watch. Let's go to the next one, VVUS. Let's see, I think I've got some lines on this one too. There it is. When I talk about an area of support, VVUS had a really strong move here and then came back down for a few days. And the area between the 8-day, which is that blue line, and the 20-day generally is an area where a strong stock will come down to and then turn back up. And it's held this area for 3 or 4 days. So possible turn back up on that one this week. Definitely want to watch that. Next, HEAR, kind of breaking a flag here, and I used I think 60-minute candles on this one to better illustrate. These are 60s, so you know, to kind of see the long flag it's been in. And on Friday, basically started to break out of this flag. It still hasn't broken the recent highs, so absolutely one to watch this week. Very, very strong stock and holding up very well. That's HEAR, CODX. I didn't type that right. CODX. This one won't have any notes on it because it's just a crazy strong stock. You had this move 2 days. Well, you had the gap up, but 2 red days, and then a powerful move on Friday. Closing well off its highs, but also well off its lows. 20 million shares traded. I think shorts. Nobody, as far as I can tell, has been able to find any news that's causing this, which sometimes makes the stock keep going higher because people jump in and short it, and then it goes up higher, and they can't do anything but cover to get out, right? Buy it back. So anytime you have a stupid strong stock like this, as a day trader, you just want to keep it on watch. Not only trade it if you get a very clear, low-risk A+ setup. So that's really important to remember. VKTX, very strong move on Thursday, then gapped up on Friday, closing, I don't know, pretty close to the low of day, but I'd like to see another day down, and then I would absolutely fall in love with this one for a bounce play. But man, sometimes you only get one red day on a powerful stock and the next day strong again. So we'll see if it gives us a setup. HTBX. Got some notes on this one. You have a really tight little pennant there, or flag, whatever you want to call it, flat top, potential flat top breakout, whatever you want to call it. It's really coiling there below 250. So we're going to watch that one this week. DDE. Really strong intraday move, but closing well off of its highs. It did have good news on Friday. Pretty good volume for this stock too, so definitely want to watch that for a follow-through of the attempted move that it made. I don't like the fact that it closed so far off of its highs, but then you could switch to 5-minute candles, and you could here's the big move, right? You could also argue that it never took out the low of the day, and it closed, I don't know, maybe better than I thought it would once you have, you know, this lower high, an attempt at the lower high that rolled over again. This kind of had that look that it was going to close down, you know, below Thursday's close, and then it actually held up okay. So I'm not in love with it, but absolutely want to keep it on a chart. ADOM. I've got some notes on this one too. ADOM had this big 2-day move, 3-day pullback, another big 2-day move, strong volume on this up move, strong volume on this up move, and now kind of in a flag. Really want to watch this for potential breakout this week. Let's get that off of there. GameStop. This one's interesting. Hold on, I've got some notes on this one too. This one's interesting because of that massive volume on Friday. And it's been in a range down here for basically 2 months, right? All of April and all of May, and really big volume on Friday. And kind of up to the top of the range. Anytime you have something move from close to the bottom of a range to the top of a range, the next day might not be the best day to play it, but this volume's got to mean something. And you know, I don't know, if I were a position trader or a swing trader, I might watch for a breakout, and obviously your worst case stop's going to go below this entire range here. I'm a day trader, so I don't have that kind of flexibility to have a stop that wide. So I'm going to have a really clean setup before I trade it. But this is absolutely one to keep on your radar. CLNE. Bring this one over. I got some notes in this one too. I drew a circle here because it spent 3 or 4 days right in this range right here. And so now it looks like it's topped out and it's coming back down. But overall, this has made a really strong move. And generally, the area between the 8 and the 20 day is a bounce area anyway for a strong stock that pulls back to that area. And you've got some consolidation here from, I don't know, about a week ago. So it's got some price action in this area. This is kind of an area I'll be looking for a potential bounce. We'll see if it gives us a setup. And CLNE, a few more. SHLD. Yeah, believe it or not, Sears Holdings. Now, as I wrote, I'm not sure anyone expects SHLD, which is Sears if you don't know, to be around much longer, but that doesn't mean it won't bounce off this $2 support before its ultimate demise. It's been down 3-4 days in a row. It's had some news that actually popped it here. So I don't know. I'm expecting if it does get down to that 2, you might get a decent bounce. Remember, I'm a day trader, so certainly not in love with this. But I think it's worth watching if it does kind of flush around 2 or flush down maybe slightly below 2, getting intraday shape. We might catch a nice bounce in it. CLWT had the gap up on Friday, but closed at its lows. I don't have any kind of great setup here. I just want to watch it because it did have decent volume for the stock. It did have news, a special dividend or something, and it does have nice support. About 2 weeks worth right in this area, right, between 350 and 4. So, I mean, if it gets down to this area, certainly might catch a bounce. TPIV, really strong move, very toppish, right, looking here. And then another red day. This is another one I'd like to see get down between the 8 and the 20 day. But sometimes they're a strong stock will surprise you and they'll bounce before they get to that area. So I'll start watching it tomorrow. And then OGEN, absolutely not in love with this one. You had the gap up on Wednesday, closed lower on Thursday, and again on Friday. Almost round tripped, which means, the news or the reason for the gap. It's sort of negated, on the chart now. But if it's going to bounce, I definitely want it to bounce tomorrow. So that's my list. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We'll add some gap plays to this list, and there's plenty to choose from on Monday. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see everybody in chat on Monday.